Pay attention to this loach in front of you staring at the water. At this time, a big crucian carp is quietly facing him. Who knows, maybe in the next second, he will be cruelly dropped out of the water by the loach. In order not to miss the wonderful scene of loach fishing, the little sister next to him is in a hurry to adjust his position. I have to say that the experienced loach hunter, I didn't see the crucian carp that was close to me. I rushed up instead. I have been patiently staring at the big crucian carp in the water. It seems to be waiting for the moment of the crucian carp's eyelids. He will suddenly launch a sneak attack in a hurry. Even if the little sister, who has never seen the world next to him, has been in a hurry, he didn't disturb the bad intentions of the loach. Still squatting like an old dog, never forced to launch his attack because of the interference of the outside world. I don't know if this loach is a domestic cat or a stray cat. From his smooth fur, we can't tell the loach cat in front of him. Even if it's a stray cat, it's definitely not short of food and drink. As time goes by, the little sisters around him are nervous and shut their mouths. At this time, the loach cat finally started to act. He slowly put his front legs down the steps in order not to disturb the big crucian carp in the water. The loach cat has always been careful to keep a millimeter speed, slowly pulled his head forward. Until then, the big crucian carp in the water was still lying still. Let the slowly approaching loach cat uncontrollably shaking his big tail. With the swaying of the tail, the loach cat finally sold out another hind leg. At the same time, he also slowly pulled out a front leg. But at this time, the loach cat did not quickly pat his claws into the water, but slowly moved to the side of the big crucian carp. When the big crucian carp was frightened and tried to escape, he was accidentally hooked by the loach cat's toenails. At that moment, the big crucian carp was gently dragged out of the water by the loach cat. The little sisters on the scene suddenly remembered an incredible scream. At this time, the loach cat was already crying next to his aunt. In order to prevent this 500-gram big crucian carp from escaping back into the water, he only saw him hook the big crucian carp again and tried to drag it on the steps. But the struggling big crucian carp couldn't cooperate. After a fierce confrontation, the big crucian carp was dragged to the third step by the loach cat, eventually escaped back to the second step, but at the same time he also wasted his last chance to survive. Then the big crucian carp, which had won all the battles, squatting on the steps, he calmly set up his own claws. At this time, he must be waiting for the curious little sisters on the shore to leave. He can leave here with his trophies.